So this is the new Land Rover Defender 110, and this is not the place I expected to be talking to you about it, because I am on a twisting, turning, curvy road covered in asphalt, and tarmac, and concrete, and whatever the hell else material this is. This is not the playground of the Defender, but that doesn't matter, because what this does show me initially is that this thing is pretty darn good on road. This is a Defender 110 P400. That means we have an inline 6-cylinder engine with an electric supercharger and a turbocharger and a mild hybrid system and 395 horsepower and just over 400 pound-feet of torque. It's backed up by an 8-speed gearbox, and of course, it's all-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. Every wheel drive. Now, this engine is good. Pairs well with this vehicle. 0 to 60s in something over 5 seconds. There's an optional 4-cylinder engine you can get for this, which sounds not that great, to be honest. I think there's a 2-second delta in the 0 to 60 run between the two engines, and fuel economy difference, it's only a little bit better on the 4-cylinder. You're only buying that if you can't afford the 6-cylinder. And I get that, but I mean, save up a little bit longer and get this one. You want this engine. You need the P400 version. We do not get the diesel version that the rest of the world gets as another option. So I'm out here on Route 74, high above Palm Springs on the twisting, turning road. This is a great road, driven it for many events, driven the Audi S4 when they launched it here. I've driven Aston Martin Vantages on this road. I've driven lots of vehicles on this road. I don't expect one of them to be an enjoyable experience in the Defender, but this is nice. I just spent 2 hours driving out to Palm Springs in my Montero, which was fine on the road. You know, it's fine. It's comfortable. It's got those Fox shocks. It soaks up bumps, and it has air conditioning, which is nice. But this is Defender. It's a Land Rover, so it's a nice place to be. The seats are comfortable. The infotainment is better than Land Rovers of past. It's still a tiny bit laggy, but it's not as laggy as it used to be. And I like how the screen here has like a floating effect to it. There we go. See, I can pass people. I probably couldn't do that in the turbo. Feels good, man. There's some body roll, but not a ton. There's, adaptive suspension. There's air suspension. We don't get the steel springs, I believe, in this country, or they're coming as an option. I will clarify that and put text on the screen. And then we don't have the 2-door body style yet. That is coming for the 2021 model year, the Defender 90. I personally would want the 110 anyway. I like 4 doors. I have a wife and a child and a dog, and it's easier to get people and things in and out of a 4-door Defender instead of a 2-door Defender. This thing feels great on the road. It hauls butt. It's I don't feel scared going through the corners. I wouldn't go this quickly in my Montero, nor could I going uphill. Downhill, we could get some action going from those KO2s squealing. Maybe, I don't know. It wouldn't be fun. Let's just put it that way. This is good on road. But like I said, we didn't drive all the way out here to drive this across this great sliver of road, because this is a Defender, a new Defender. We're gonna get this dirty. We wanna have some fun with it. We wanna see what it can do in the dirt, which is why I didn't come here for this. I came here for this. So this is where we're supposed to be, out here in the desert, to see what the new Defender can do, actually where it's supposed to be. So enough talking, let's go drive it. This is where the Defender is designed to excel. I'm in the middle of Nowheresville, California, somewhere south of the Salton Sea, somewhere north of the Mexico border. There are military jets practicing bombing runs not far from me. In fact, an F-35 crashed just over there the other day. But here on the ground, the Defender reigns supreme. It's fully involved in that retro-inspired styling, which it needs. The Defender needs that. Not all vehicles need that. They can evolve. This has that, and it is still evolved. It is still square, but it is also rounded squares at the same time. Look at the taillights. They call those squircles, which is a silly, it sounds like a word I'd make up. because I don't know the right answer, but no, Land Rover calls them squircles. Works for me. It's a square, a circled off square, a squared off circle, whatever. We don't need to dive into the taillights too deeply, but they do look good. They're good looking taillights that shine nice and brightly through dust. There's a Defender in front of me, and whenever it hits the brakes, I can see it easily. And then the headlights behind me, it's got those cool looking daytime running lights, which look really nicely. Now, this has air suspension, all that stuff I said when I was driving it on-road, and it helps to get it through corners without rolling over. But here off-road, these are pretty big whoops, and this is comfortable. It drives well. The steering is a little disconnected, but not disconcertingly so. The brakes are much better than I expected, and the engine is a torquey, entertaining mill. Obviously, what we're doing right now is easy. We're in a silty wash. I have it fully raised up into off-road height, and they made us put it into low range, which I don't think we really need right now. I think they just want us to experience low range, but I think this will be more important later on in the day. Here in the wash, I'd rather be blasting through this, but this is a lead-follow exercise, and you do what you got to do. But these big bumps are no big deal. Eventually, we got out of the wash and into more technically challenging bits of trail. Blasting over dunes was a lot of fun, and climbing some undulating sections put articulation limits to the test and had our Defenders rocking, shifting, and moving around, but never out of sorts. The Defender is still a British mountain goat. It's just now built for the modern world. There's a great approach angle of BAM! There's a good departure angle of BAM! And then this is the 110, so the more concerning angle is the breakover angle, which is booyah! Let's talk dough. The Defender 90 starts around $47,000, and the 110 is just over $50,000. Yes, you can pump each one up to over $80,000, but you definitely do not need to do that. I think the sweet spot is a 110 with the P400 powertrain, and that starts at $63,000. A lot of money, certainly, but not really. People are spending well over $60,000 on Wranglers, Gladiators, Raptors, and other off-road machines, including Bronco, which you can add to that list soon. And the Defender is just as capable, if not more so, than most of them. Plus, it's a Land Rover, so it's a nice place to sit inside, and it looks damn good, both covered in dirt and sparklingly clean. I'd rather have a nearly 400 horsepower Land Rover Defender than a 3.6 liter powered Rubicon at the same price, no question about it. Obviously the 90 will be a little bit better in the breakover space, but I mean, I'm not concerned. I think this is perfect for what it is. And then think about the average use case for someone who actually buys one of these. Much like the G-Wagon from Mercedes, these have become status symbols. And I think the modern Defender, the new Defender, will be treated in much the same manner as what the older Defender has become. There will be people who still use it, sure. And I can put it into sport mode while I'm in low range. Okay, that's good. There will be people who get them dirty and dusty and have fun with them and ford rivers and do all this crazy crap with them. But the average consumer, especially here in the States, you know, the dirtiest it will get is when it drives through a puddle at a Starbucks in a strip mall, or when it goes to the mall, or, you know, goes on a Whole Foods run, or Gelson's because they're fancier. But it is still incredibly capable. Again, like the G-Wagon, it is still wildly capable, and it is nice inside. The old Defender is great because it's a utilitarian truck that, I mean, can go anywhere. It's a piece of agricultural equipment that has become iconic. Where, like, the G-Wagon was a piece of military equipment that has also become iconic. Maybe not for the reasons that, you know, the automakers intended, but at least the ability is still there. And then this is probably even more capable than old Defenders because of, you know, modern technological wizardry. You know, torque vectoring, and you don't have to worry about differentials and getting out and locking and unlocking hubs. And The suspension will raise up and increase your ground clearance, and you know, there's all kinds of cool stuff at play here. But circling back, it's comfortable inside. There's a fantastic sound system. The infotainment is far better than prior Land Rover products. I have a heated seat, you know, nice stuff like that. The AC is blowing nice and cold, and it's 9:44 a.m. and it's already 103 out here, and I think we're gonna get probably up to 115 or so today. This thing handles all this stuff. It's easy. It is dead easy. I wish I didn't have to be in low range though. I want to bomb. I want to bomb down this silty wash. I really enjoyed this thing, and I'm actually scheming ways to put one in my driveway. Yes, I like it that much. Are you a cop? Are you a cop? You hit a cop, you're going in. Okay. Come back here in the Montero and fling that bee around. Drift this corner up here.